Hola, necesitas sacar el paquete de gramática porque ahora vas a tomar apuntes. Today we're going to be taking notes on different types of impersonal constructions in Spanish, basically impersonal phrases. First, we're going to focus on impersonal constructions with se. Now, the book acts like this is a repaso, it acts like this is a review, because it's taught at the very end of the Spanish 2 book. Obviously, we didn't get that far last year in the Spanish 2 book, so we are going to be treating this like it's a new concept for us. Now, you might be confused by what an impersonal expression is. In English, we hear all the time phrases like, "You shouldn't smoke in a hospital." "They say she is very pretty." "One never knows when he will turn up." Phrases like this, the you, the they, the one, I'm not being specific. These are examples of impersonal expressions in English. In other words, we don't really have anyone specific in mind when we say they say, or one, or you. For instance, when I say you shouldn't smoke in a hospital, I might not necessarily be speaking specifically to you. You probably don't even smoke. But in general, a person doesn't smoke in the hospital. We mean people in general. That's what we mean by impersonal. So, impersonal expressions don't have a specific subject. In Spanish, we are going to use the pronoun se to avoid specifying the person who is doing the action of the verb. We're going to use se plus the usted, el, ella form of the verb when an infinitive follows the verb or when a singular noun follows the verb. Here is an example. Se habla español aquí. Spanish is spoken here. I could also translate this as being one speaks Spanish here, or even you speak Spanish here. I don't know who the subject is since I used the impersonal expression se plus the usted el ella form. Español is singular, so that's why I used the usted el ella form. This might be something that you'd see on a sign outside of a business or a restaurant. When a plural noun follows the verb, we're going to use se plus the usted ellos ellas form. Se publican todas las entrevistas. Entrevistas is plural, so I use the ustedes ellos ellas form of publicar. Who's publishing the interviews? We don't really know. We don't really care. Just in general, all the interviews are published. Not specific at all. Here are a couple other examples. You actually have been doing impersonal expressions with se ever since Spanish 1, and you probably didn't realize it, because when you say como se dice, like como se dice table in Español, how do you say table in Spanish, you're not directly asking the person how to say table, because then you'd use the to form. You're using an impersonal expression and you didn't even realize it. Another way to form impersonal expressions in Spanish involves using an infinitive. In English, as in Spanish, you can use impersonal expressions with infinitives to state an opinion or to make indirect or subtle suggestions. For instance, it's important to tell the truth. Now, let's pretend you're standing in front of me and you're lying to me. I can make a comment like, it's important to tell the truth. I'm not coming out saying that you're not telling the truth or you need to tell the truth, but I am very subtly suggesting that you should be telling the truth. We do the same thing in Spanish. Es importante is my impersonal expression, and then I follow it with my infinitive decir. To state an opinion or to suggest that something should be done without indicating who should do it, you're going to use an impersonal expression followed by an infinitive. Impersonal expressions combine the usted, él, ella form of the verb ser and an adjective. The verb ser can be in any tense. Es would be an example of the present tense. Fue would be an example of the preterite tense. Era would be an example of the imperfect tense. And va a ser would be an example of how to say it is going to be, a simple future tense. Now, when you want to state your opinion, you're going to use a form of ser in either the present, preterite, imperfect, or simple future, plus an adjective, plus the infinitive. For example, es malo presentar, it's bad to present. Información falsa. Fue bueno entrevistar, it was good to interview. Fue bueno entrevistar al director. Era interesante escuchar, it was interesting to listen. Era interesante escuchar las entrevistas, it was interesting to listen to the interviews. And va a ser difícil cancelar, it's going to be difficult to cancel. Va a ser difícil cancelar la teletón, it's going to be difficult to cancel the telethon. Here we have an example of saying an opinion with an impersonal expression plus an infinitive in the present tense, the preterite, the imperfect, and the simple future. You can see in every example we have a form of ser plus an adjective plus an infinitive. Now that we have concluded your notes, think about any questions that you might have and make sure to take the Google quiz in the comments section of this video once you have completed filling in all of your notes.